Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing JMA Friday for today's second video. So as also on Friday, we're having a look at the weather for the month ahead with the Japanese and CFS V2 models. It's going to be an October look ahead really, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say about the first video, which was our 6 AM upload. We've got a 10 to 14 down with all operator features coming to you later on this afternoon. And then around 7 tonight, we're going to have the ECM WF 6-week look ahead. So a bit of an extended sort of look ahead today with a focus on October, I think. Please like, share, subscribe on videos. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, so we're going to start off with the week 1, 500 millibar height anomaly from the Arctic and North Pole view down from the JMA. So we've got the North Pole just here, and the wider Arctic circle around there, and then mid-latitudes are through there. Blue is extrapolating to below average height, which is low pressure, yellow, orange, and red to above average height, which is high pressure. These are broken down into week periods, and the first week period will take us from the 30th of September today to the 7th of October. The next week will be unsettled with below average heights to the north and above average heights down to the south, and that will lead to us bringing in a westerly flow from off the Atlantic. The driest weather with that is in the south, and the most unsettled weather will be in the north. Week 2 is very similar. This will be the 7th to the 14th of October, with again below average heights, low pressure to the north, above average heights, high pressure to the south, and winds coming in again from the flat westerly direction. So both weeks 1 and 2 are Atlantic dominating. And westerly, bit of a change for weeks 3 and 4, which will be the 14th to 28th of October. Above average heights then going into the North Atlantic. Below average heights down here. That looks like a negative NAO type pattern. And so that's probably going to be drier as the Atlantic is a bit blocked up. It will probably be a bit colder potentially with winds going into more of a north or a northeasterly direction then. So maybe going drier and colder into the second half of October. This is the trouble on the mid-latitude view, so we can't see the Arctic, North Pole, Greenland, Iceland, Scandinavia, all those regions off chart up here. But of course, I'll look at that view down so we know, broadly speaking, what's going on. Reminder of the week 1, 500. We're in the top right hand of the chart, by the way. Perched on the very edges, as we normally are. Right, so a reminder of the week 1, 500 millibar height only from the 30th of September to 7th of October, with low pressure in off the Atlantic to the north, high pressure to the south, and winds coming in from the west or southwesterly direction. It's a warmer than average week to come. We're in those yellow colours there, so that's 1 to 2 degrees above average. A nice, mild, quite warm start to October, but also quite unsettled too, with above average rainfall. Into week 2, it's a very similar setup, so you expect a similar scenario really. Above average heights to the south, below average heights up to the north. The temperature anomaly therefore remains mild, with still in those yellow colours. Again, 1 to 2 degrees above average. Just a little bit drier to the south though. So the north goes or stays wetter than average, the south just a little bit drier potentially there from the 7th to 14th of October. And then we get that rather different 500 millibar height anomaly for week 3 and 4. The above average heights turning up in the North Atlantic then, away to west and northwest. Could that lead to something a bit colder with some north or northeast winds? That's what temperature anomaly is doing. So it's not going particularly cold, but it is going cooler. It's moving those yellow colours away into the North Atlantic, and we're sort of going to about average to just a little bit above. And it's still quite unsettled with above average precipitation there. So I reckon there's a bit of a change going on in the second half of October. Something a little bit colder. Probably a little bit drier too. Although it's going for above average rainfall, I think that'd be a little bit dry, especially, you know, for more eastern parts of the country as the Atlantic begins to get a little bit blocked off. It is a 2-weekly anomaly, so it could be transitional. Could be something like week 3 is still relatively mild, and then week 4 goes a lot colder, something like that could be going on. Right, let's have a look at CFS V2. So these are 500 millibar high times again. Break it down to week periods. The first week period takes us from the 30th of September to the 6th of October. Very similar to what the JMA was showing, with above average heights to the south and below average heights to the north, and winds therefore coming in from off the Atlantic in a westerly direction. Now, we're going to change to week 2 compared to the JMA. This is the 7th to the 13th of October. Still with a high pressure to the south and southwest, but placing a low pressure a little bit more towards our northeast. So it's still rather unsettled, but the difference is that could be a bit cooler, I think, as we might get more of a northwesterly type influence with that. Week 3 is going to be the 14th to the 20th of October. High pressure again is centred to the south, lower pressure up to the north. That sort of looks rather westerly to northwesterly, driest weather in the south. And then week 4 will be the 23rd to 27th of October. Possibly signs that the high pressure is pulling out more in towards the North Atlantic, with a trough of low pressure over Scandinavia. That might start to bring in some colder air from the northwest. Almost, you could see that going into the north if this area of high pressure from Spain was to go in that direction. Not quite there for a northerly plunge, but certainly looks like it could be a bit cooler, I think, as the second half of October. Very similar, October is very similar to what the JMA was hinting at there. Week 1 temperature anomaly from the 30th of September, 6th of October, a little bit above average in most orange colours, which is around half a degree to 1 degree above normal. Week 2 is also average to just slightly above it, 7th, 13th of October. Again, in those pale sort of yellow colours to borderline orange, so it's only around half a degree or so above average. Week 3 is warmer though. This is going to be the 14th to the 20th of October. I can't get my highlighter going. There it is. And we're almost going to the red colours then. So that is like 1-2 degrees above average. And then we're looking quite mild into week 4 as well. 23rd, 27th of October. I'm not sure about that based on the 500 millibar height anomaly. I have to say, I think that's overcooked. And precipitation lastly, week 1, 30th of September, 6th of October is wetter than average. Wet week come. Week 2 is a north-south split, 7th to the 13th of October, wet in the north, drier to the south. Week 3 just looks rather unsettled, especially the northern areas. It's 14th, 20th of October. And then finally, week 4, we're losing the signal now, really, 21st of October, 27th. Not much of a signal doing there. Right, so remember, it's just a snapshot of what models are showing. It could look completely different. We have got, could look completely different next week. We have got some agreement between the two models. So we start off with first week looking westerly and Atlantic driven. It looks like we go into maybe some slightly higher pressure, particularly in the south, into the second week of October. And then signs of a change, I think, for week 2, for week 3 and 4, the second half of the month, basically. Signs of a change, something a bit colder, I think, personally, although the CFS you can count with above average temperatures, but then it always does. I think the hints are there. It could start getting a little bit colder into the second half of October if those heights, if high pressure pulls out into the middle of the Atlantic. We shall see. Remember, again, just a snapshot. So any forecast on 5-7 days, big health warnings attached. We're going to be back shortly with, or later this afternoon, with the 10 to 14 day, and then we'll have that ECMWF extended look ahead for you this evening. Please like, share, subscribe on videos. We'll see you a little bit later on for the next one, but for this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.